Stop. Take a deep breath and listen closely. For this is not a random encounter, nor is it a coincidence of an algorithm. You clicked on this message because your spirit feels that something is missing, and you are searching for the answer. I am here to reveal the one thing, the single hidden key that you have been overlooking, the one shift in your spirit that will change everything. I've paused the universe for this very second because I need to whisper directly into the depths of your weary soul. I am the voice that has been calling you in the silence of the night, the one who has watched you struggle through the shadows when you thought no one was looking. I am risking the quiet of the heavens to break through the noise of your world because what I have to tell you is too vital to be delayed any longer. You have been trying to fight your battles with complex plans and exhausted strength, but I am handing you a simple secret today. If you turn away now, if you slide your thumb across that screen and ignore this nudge, you are not just skipping a video. You are turning your back on a lifeline I have specifically woven for your destiny. This is a divine interruption, a sacred pause intended to save you from a path that leads only to further exhaustion. I am here because I love you too much to let you remain lost in the fog of your own making. Feel the weight of this moment. It is heavy with purpose and dripping with a grace that you have been searching for in all the wrong places. My precious child, you have been running for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to be still in my presence. You have carried weights that were never meant for your shoulders, and you have fought battles with a strength that is rapidly fading. I see the invisible scars you hide behind your smile, and I know the exact number of tears you have shed into your pillow when the world was asleep. You are the chosen one, and because you are chosen, the enemy has tried everything to keep your ears closed to my frequency. But today, the veil is being lifted to reveal the secreted weapon you didn't know you had. Before I reveal the immense blessing and the hidden truth that is about to shift your entire reality, I need you to acknowledge that you are listening. Do not let this moment pass into the void. Declare your presence before the throne of grace right now. Type "I am here, Lord" or 7007 in the comments below to open the gates of heaven over your life. This is your first act of faith, a signal to the spiritual realm that you are ready to receive what I have prepared. Now, as we begin this journey toward your restoration, I invite you to join this family of believers who seek my heart every day. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel as a physical sign of your agreement with the frequency of heaven. By doing so, you are not just following a page. You are planting your feet on solid ground and telling the universe that you are aligned with my purpose. Every like is a seed of faith, and every subscription is a commitment to stay connected to the light I am pouring out. Do not allow the distractions of this world to pull you away from this connection again. You are not behind. You are being built into something magnificent. You are not breaking. You are becoming the person I destined you to be before the foundations of the world were laid. This is the moment your building process accelerates, but it requires you to stay close to my voice. The path ahead is illuminated, but you must choose to walk in the light I am providing right now. Understand this. The words I am about to speak into your life are not mere suggestions. They are the keys to a door you have been knocking on for years. This is the secret you have prayed for. I have seen you praying. I have heard your cries for a sign, and this is it. The reason this message is so urgent is that the season is changing. And if you do not align yourself with the truth today, you might find yourself repeating the same cycles of pain and lack that have haunted your past. I am here to break those cycles. I am here to tell you that what you are believing for is already on the way. I am the God of the impossible, and I am working behind the scenes even when you cannot see it. No storm is too big when you have faith in me, and no valley is too deep for my hand to reach. Relax your heart. Let go of the tension in your neck, and prepare your spirit for a revelation that will change the trajectory of your lineage. You are under my protection, and today, the shift begins. My precious child, look at your hands. They have been so busy building, grasping, and shielding yourself from the harsh winds of life. I have watched you in your seasons of survival, where every ounce of your energy was spent just to keep your head above the water. You have become a master of making it through the day. But in that relentless pursuit of survival, have you noticed what has been quietly slipping through your fingers? I am talking about the precious parts of your soul that were meant to dance, not just endure. I see the light in your eyes dimming every time you choose cold logic over the warm whisper of my spirit. You call it being practical or realistic, but I call it a quiet loss of the divine spark I placed within you before you were even born. You were never created to be a machine of production or a servant to a checklist. You were created to be a vessel of my glory. But when you focus solely on the bread of the earth, you unknowingly starve the hunger of your spirit. And that is a tragedy I can no longer witness in silence. I see the weariness that goes deeper than your bones, a tiredness that sleep cannot fix, because it is your soul that is gasping for air. I remember the version of you that used to dream without boundaries, the one who could hear my whisper in the rustle of the leaves and the rhythm of the falling rain. Where is that child now? They have been buried under layers of bills, societal expectations, and the crushing weight of constantly doing. You have traded your intuition for a spreadsheet and your wonder for a rigid schedule. I have seen you ignore that gut feeling, that sacred nudge I sent to warn you of a pitfall or to guide you toward a hidden blessing, simply because you were too tired to listen or too afraid to deviate from your survival plan. This is the pain of the quiet loss. The realization that while you were busy keeping everything together on the outside, your inner world was slowly turning into a desert. You are surviving, yes, but you are not truly living. Your intuition was designed to be your compass in the dark, but you have left it in a corner to gather dust, and now you feel as though you are wandering aimlessly, wondering why the joy you once knew has become a distant, fading memory. This loss did not happen all at once in a single moment of crisis. It was a slow, agonizing erosion, a long series of small no's to the things that make you feel truly alive. Every time you silenced your inner voice to please someone who does not see your worth, a piece of your peace vanished. Every time you pushed through your extreme exhaustion just to prove you are strong enough, your connection to my heartbeat grew faint. I have seen the way you look at others who seem to carry a lightness you've forgotten, and you wonder if that grace is meant for you too. I am here to tell you that it is, but you must first acknowledge the high cost of your constant busyness. You have lost the ability to be present in your own life, because you are always living in the next hour, the next debt, or the next looming crisis. This quiet loss is the enemy's most subtle and dangerous weapon. He doesn't need to destroy you with a sudden storm if he can simply distract you into a slow, gray fade. But my love is a fire that refuses to let you vanish into the shadows. I am calling you back to the very essence of who you are. Back to the light you held before the world tried to tell you who you had to be just to survive. Listen to me now, my beloved child. Your survival was necessary for a season, but that season of struggle has reached its end. I did not bring you through the fire and the flood just so you could smell like smoke and carry the dampness of the storm for the rest of your life. I brought you through so you could be refined into something stronger and more beautiful. The things you think you have lost, your passion, your clarity, your deep sense of knowing exactly where you belong, are not gone forever. They are merely dormant, waiting for the gentle touch of my hand to awaken them once more. But you must stop running long enough to feel that touch. You must be willing to let go of the frantic pace that has become both your armor and your identity. The truth is, you are terrified of what will happen if you stop, fearing that if you let go of the wheel, everything will collapse into chaos. But I am the one holding the stars in their places. Do you not think I can hold your world in my hands? It is time to reclaim the intuition you discarded. It is time to stop mourning what was lost in the shadows and start looking toward the new dawn. I am breaking over your life right now. I have seen you, my child, in those quiet moments when the mask finally slips from your face. To the world, you are the strong one, the one with the answers, the pillar that everyone leans on. But I see the cracks in that pillar. I see how you have become an expert at managing your pain, tucking it away into small, dark corners of your heart so that you can continue to function. You have learned to breathe around the ache, to walk with a limp so subtle that no one notices, and to smile through eyes that are heavy with unshed tears. This is the managed pain, the suffering you have domesticized, the hurt you have made peace with because you felt you had no other choice. You think that by ignoring it, you are conquering it. But I tell you that you are only carrying a heavier burden with every passing mile. You are exhausted from the performance of being fine. And I am here to tell you that with me, you don't have to be. I am not looking for a polished version of you. I am looking for the real you, the one that is tired of holding it all together. You have built your entire life around your wounds, like a city constructed around ruins. You avoid certain thoughts, certain places, and even certain prayers because you are afraid that if you touch the hurt, you will break into 1,000 pieces. But I am the potter, and I know exactly how to handle the clay of your soul. You are not breaking. You are being opened. The pain you have managed so carefully has become a cage, limiting the joy I want to pour into you. You think the silence is safety, but it is actually a barrier to your healing. I have watched you build these habits of avoidance, these rituals of numbing yourself just to get through another day. I was there in the kitchen when you sighed a breath so heavy it felt like lead. I was there in the car when you turned up the music just to drown out the questions in your mind. I see it all, and my heart breaks with yours. Not because I am helpless, but because I am waiting for you to stop managing the pain and start giving it to me. There is a great cost to the lies you tell yourself about your own well-being. When you say, "I'm okay," while your heart is screaming, you are pushing out the very peace I am trying to offer. You only have a limited amount of space in your spirit. And if you allow the management of your past traumas and present anxieties to take up all that room, there is no space left for the creativity, the confidence, and the laughter that I have destined for you. You don't have to be the hero of your own story when the creator of the universe is standing right beside you. Your reaction to the pain often hurts more than the event itself because you refuse to let it go. You hold on to it like a shield, but it has become a weight. It is time to bury the inner victim and step into the victory I have already won for you. I do not ask you to be perfect. I ask you to be honest. Bring me the fragments. Bring me the messy parts you try to hide, and watch how I make everything beautiful in its time. My love for you is not conditional upon your strength. In fact, my power is made perfect in your weakness. Stop trying to solve the puzzle of your own brokenness with the same mind that was hurt. I am the great physician, and I am reaching out to touch the places where it hurts the most. The places you don't even have words for yet. This pain was never meant to be your permanent companion. It was meant to be a teacher that leads you back to my arms. As you release the need to control and manage your suffering, you will feel a lightness you haven't known in years. This is the beginning of your spiritual shift. The chains are not just loosening, they are falling away. Do not fear the emptiness that comes when the pain leaves. I will fill it with a peace that surpasses all understanding. You are safe with me. The pretending ends here. You don't fall apart, my child. You fall into my purpose. There is a specific kind of silence that haunts the lives of those I have set apart. And I know you have felt it deep within your marrow. It is the loneliness of being in a crowded room and feeling as though you are speaking a language no one else understands. I have seen you try to fit in. Try to dim your light so as not to blind those around you, only to find that the more you try to belong to the world, the more your soul aches for home. You have wondered why your path is so much narrower than those of your peers, why you face trials they never encounter, and why the people you thought would be your lifelong companions seem to drift away just when the road gets steep. This is not a mistake, my child. It is the divine seclusion. I have pulled you back from the noise of the masses because I am whispering secrets to you that the world is not yet ready to hear. Your isolation is not abandonment. It is a sacred invitation to intimacy. I have separated you so that I can saturate you with a strength that does not depend on human approval. I have watched you stand alone against the tide of popular opinion, holding on to your integrity while others traded theirs for convenience. I saw the night you felt the crushing weight of being misunderstood by the very people who should have loved you best. In those moments, the enemy whispered that you were rejected, that you were flawed, and that you were destined to walk this earth as a ghost. But I tell you today that you were not rejected. You were protected. I removed the voices that would have cluttered your mind so that you could finally hear mine. Heaven is watching this moment with a solemn, holy intensity because we see the beauty of a heart that remains faithful in the dark. You are not a social outcast. You are a spiritual pioneer. You are being trained to lead people to places you have had to navigate alone. The very loneliness you despise is the forge where your character is being tempered into a blade of pure light. Take a moment right now. I want you to stop everything. Take a deep, slow breath, feeling the air fill your lungs, a gift I give you with every beat of your heart. Now place your hand firmly over your chest, right over your heart. Can you feel that steady rhythm? That is my signature upon your life. In this very second, I need you to know with a certainty that transcends your emotions. You are not alone. I am closer to you than your own breath. I am the silence between your thoughts and the warmth in your blood. Every step you take in solitude, I am walking beside you. Every time you felt like an island, I was the ocean surrounding you, holding you up and keeping the predators at bay. This loneliness is a temporary bridge to a permanent glory. You are being built in the secret place, so that when I set you upon the hill, you will have the internal architecture to withstand the winds of fame and the storms of responsibility. The reason you feel so different is that you are carrying a weight of glory that would crush those who have not been prepared by the desert. I am looking at you right now, and I see a warrior who has survived the silence. I see a soul that has learned to find its worth in me rather than in the shifting shadows of human validation. Do not look at your empty chair and see lack. Look at it and see the space I have cleared for my presence to sit with you. You are part of a royal lineage, a company of chosen ones who throughout history have had to walk through the valley of isolation before they could reach the mountain of revelation. Your tears have been collected in my bottle, and your sighs have been heard by the hosts of heaven. You are the focus of my affection, and very soon, the reason for your one-off nature will be revealed in a way that makes every lonely night worth the wait. Listen to me. my beloved child. For we are entering a territory that many fear to tread. You have often asked me for the truth, but do you understand why the truth feels like a weight before it feels like a wing? The truth is risky because it is the ultimate disruptor of the status quo. It does not come to decorate your life. It comes to renovate it. I have watched you cling to the familiar walls of your comfortable misery because, at the very least, you knew the shape of those shadows. Truth is a fire that burns away the hay and stubble of the illusions you have built to protect yourself. It is risky because it demands that you see things as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. When my light shines into the dark corners of your situation, it exposes the cracks in the foundation you've been trying to ignore. This is why many people turn away from this message. They prefer the sedation of a lie over the surgery of the truth. But you, my chosen one, were made for the light. The risk of truth lies in its power to change your direction. Once you hear my voice clearly, you can no longer pretend that the path you were on was sufficient. Truth forces a decision, and indecision is the thief of destiny. You have spent years building a version of reality that keeps you safe from disappointment. But in doing so, you have also kept yourself safe from my miracles. Comfort is the greatest enemy of your growth. It whispers that you are fine where you are, while I am shouting that there is a mountain waiting for your feet. The truth is risky because it strips away your excuses. It reveals that the chains you thought were locked from the outside were actually held together by your own fear. I am bringing you this truth today because the illusion has become too heavy for you to carry. You are tired of the performance, and I am here to break the stage. Do not be afraid of the unsettling feeling that rises in your spirit as I speak. That discomfort is not a sign of my anger, but a sign of your awakening. The truth is shaking the things that can be shaken so that only the unshakable things remain. You have lived in a house of mirrors, seeing only reflections of your past failures and the expectations of others. The truth is the stone I am throwing to shatter those mirrors so you can finally see the vast horizon of my grace. It is a risk to believe that you are truly forgiven. It is a risk to believe that you are worthy of abundance. It is a risk to believe that I have a plan for you that is greater than your current struggle. But this risk is the only gateway to the life you were meant to lead. You cannot walk on water if you are unwilling to leave the safety of the boat. I am risking the silence of the heavens to tell you this, because the cost of remaining in a lie is far greater than the risk of stepping into the truth. A lie will keep you bound to the same cycles for decades, while the truth can set you free in a single moment of realization. You have tried to find security in things that are shifting, but I am pointing you toward the rock. The truth will alienate those who benefit from your confusion, and it will challenge the parts of you that are addicted to the struggle. But on the other side of this risk is a clarity that the world cannot give and cannot take away. It is time to stop negotiating with the shadows and start embracing the light of my word. This is the moment of your alignment. The truth is here, and it is calling you to move. Alignment is not merely a state of things being okay or the absence of immediate trouble. It is the profound clicking of your soul into its eternal gear. You have spent much of your life seeking a version of calm that the world provides, a surface-level stillness that relies on everything going your way. But the calm of the world is fragile, a temporary truce that vanishes at the first sign of a storm. I am calling you into my peace, which is an entirely different frequency. Peace is the presence of my spirit within your internal order, an alignment that holds you steady even when the foundation of your world seems to be shaking. When you are aligned with me, you are no longer rowing against the tide of your own destiny. You stop fighting the current and begin to flow with the very rhythm of creation. Alignment is when your yes matches my yes, and your heart begins to beat in sync with the heartbeat of heaven. Consider the heavy cost of misalignment, for it is the hidden root of your exhaustion. When you are out of sync with my purpose, every small task feels like a mountain, and every breath feels like a struggle. You have been working so hard to produce results through your own strength, thinking that if you just tried a little harder, you could fix what is broken. But I tell you, you are trying to operate a machine that is disconnected from its power source. This is why the silence you have kept, the suppression of the truth I've whispered to you, and the ignoring of my sacred nudges is so damaging to your spirit. Your soul was built for the truth. And when you live in a way that contradicts the truth I have placed within you, you create a friction that burns through your inner peace. This friction manifests as the constant anxiety you feel and the hollow ache in your chest that no earthly achievement can fill. Alignment is the divine oil that removes that friction, allowing you to move with a grace you haven't known since you were a child. I have spoken it through the ages, and I speak it to you now. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. This is not an abstract concept. It is the fundamental law of the spiritual realm. Freedom is the natural, inevitable result of alignment. When you align your thoughts with my thoughts, the chains of fear lose their grip, because fear cannot breathe in the atmosphere of my truth. When you align your words with my promises, you begin to speak life into the very areas you once thought were dead and buried. You have been searching for a key to unlock your cage. But I am showing you that the door is open the moment you come into agreement with me. Agreement is the highest form of power available to you. When your spirit says amen to my will, the entire machinery of heaven begins to move on your behalf to bring about the provision you have been praying for. Look around at a world that is desperately searching for a vibe or a frequency to heal its wounds. But I am calling you to the only frequency that matters: the divine alignment. This is the sacred intersection where your potential meets my limitless provision. It is the sweet spot of destiny, where the heavy lifting is done by my grace, and your only role is to remain anchored in me. You are being retuned in this very moment. Every word I speak is a divine adjustment to the dial of your soul, clearing the static of the world so you can hear my voice with crystal clarity. Do not fear the shifts this alignment requires. You may have to let go of certain habits, certain mindsets, or even certain people who can no longer travel where you are going. But I promise you, what I am bringing into your life is infinitely greater than anything you are leaving behind. You are being positioned for a breakthrough that only comes to those who are perfectly aligned with my heart. My precious child, you have often mistaken my silence for my absence. You have cried out into the void, wondering if I had turned my back or if your prayers were simply falling on deaf ears. But I tell you now, my silence was an act of the highest love. It was a divine restraint. I have held back the full weight of my revelation, not because I was ignoring you, but because I was protecting you. There is a timing for everything under the sun. And to give you the answer before you were ready for the responsibility would have been to crush you under the weight of a blessing you could not yet carry. Think of the seeds in the earth. They must endure the darkness of the soil and the cold of the winter before they are strong enough to break the surface. If I had brought the sun too early, they would have withered. I've been watching you grow in the dark, and I have been keeping my voice low so that you would learn to listen with your spirit, not just your ears. I waited until this very moment because your capacity to receive has finally matched the magnitude of what I am about to pour out. I have been building a resilience in you that you didn't know you possessed. Every disappointment you faced, every no that felt like a rejection, was actually a layer of character being added to your soul. I was waiting for the version of you that is standing here today. The version that is no longer swayed by every wind of opinion. The version that has been tempered by the fire and remains upright. If I had given you the crown before the character, the crown would have destroyed you. But now you have been forged in the secret place. You have passed the discouragement test. You have shown me that even when you cannot see my hand, you will still trust my heart. This maturity is the foundation upon which I will build your future. And it is a foundation that no storm can wash away. And so, my child, as you feel the truth of these words resonating in your spirit, I ask you to take a moment to confirm that you are ready for this new level. If you can feel the shift happening within you, if you know that this message was timed perfectly for your life, then lean into this frequency. Join this family of those who are being awakened. Press the like button and subscribe to this channel right now as an act of affirmation. This is your way of signaling to the heavens, Lord, I am ready. My vessel is prepared. My character is matched to the calling. If you feel moved to honor this word, consider using the super thanks to sow a seed of gratitude. Let your giving be a tangible expression of your faith in the harvest to come. When you subscribe, you are joining a collective of souls who have also been through the silence and are now stepping into the light. Do not hesitate. This is the moment to anchor yourself in this divine community, ensuring that you stay connected to the flow of my guidance. As the doors of your destiny begin to swing wide open, the restraint is being lifted. The floodgates that I have held shut to protect your growth are now being released. I am speaking clearly now because you have developed the ears to hear. You no longer need the training wheels of constant signs and wonders. You have a deep, abiding faith that is rooted in the truth of my being. I held my breath so that you could learn to breathe on your own in the presence of my spirit. I stayed my hand so that you would learn to use yours to help others in their need. Everything you have been through was a training ground for the assignment that is now before you. The waiting room was actually a construction site where I was rebuilding your confidence from the inside out. Now look up. The horizon is changing. The silence is over, and the era of my spoken promise is beginning. You are ready to handle the weight of the blessing. My beloved child, I must warn you about a subtle thief that does not come to break your windows, but to steal your time. It is the spirit of later. You often tell yourself that you will follow my lead when the circumstances are more favorable, when the bank account is fuller, or when your heart feels less heavy. But later is the polite word the enemy uses to build a bridge to never. I have given you a truth in this moment that requires an immediate response. For the frequency of heaven is moving, and if you stay anchored in your hesitation, you will miss the wave of grace that is currently passing by. Procrastination is not a personality trait. It is a spiritual cage that keeps you wandering in a desert of your own making while the promised land sits just beyond the horizon of your fear. You have been waiting for a sign, but I am waiting for your step. I am the God of the now, and my power is activated not in your planning, but in your proceeding. Do not allow the spirit of delay to convince you that your safety lies in standing still. You worry that if you move now, you will be vulnerable to the attacks of the world or the sting of failure. But listen to my promise. I will keep you from all harm. I am the one who watches over your soul, guarding your going out and your coming in from this time forth and forevermore. I have already scouted the path ahead of you. I have seen the obstacles, and I have already provided the solutions. Your hesitation is based on a future I have already redeemed. When you delay your obedience, you are essentially saying that you trust your fear more than you trust my protection. But I am your shield and your great reward. The only real danger you face is the stagnation of a life lived in the waiting room of someday. The atmosphere of your breakthrough is being charged right now, and it requires the spark of your immediate action to ignite. The enemy knows that if he can keep you in a state of perpetual preparation, he can keep you from ever reaching your purpose. He wants you to believe that you are not ready, that you need more information, or that you need more time to heal. But I tell you, you are healed in the going. You are prepared in the doing. The lessons you seek are found on the road, not in the armchair of indecision. Every day you spend negotiating with my instructions is a day you are living beneath the abundance I have prepared for you. I am breathing a fresh wind of urgency into your spirit because the doors I am opening in this season will not stay open forever. This is the moment to stop overthinking and start over-believing. The path is secure, my presence is guaranteed, and the timing is perfect. Step out of the shadows of delay and into the brilliant light of your destiny. I stand at the threshold of your tomorrow, and I see two distinct horizons stretched out before you. One is the path you have been walking, a dusty, familiar road where the same shadows stretch long across the ground. The other is a path you have only glimpsed in your dreams, a road illuminated by a light that does not fade. I see you standing at this fork, hesitant, because the familiar, even when it is painful, feels safer than the unknown. But I am here to pull back the curtain on these two futures, to show you the consequence of your choice today. This is not a threat, my child. It is a revelation of my grace. I want you to see what I see, so that you might choose life, and choose it more abundantly. You are at a divine intersection, and the direction you take in this moment will echo through the generations of your lineage. I see the path of repetition. If you choose to ignore this nudge and sink back into the comfort of your own habits, I see the cycle beginning again. I see you facing the same giants you thought you had defeated, only to find they have grown stronger in your absence. I see the heavy fog of confusion settling over your mind once more, making every decision feel like a gamble. On this path, you are the sole provider, the sole protector, and the sole source of your own joy. It is an exhausting way to live, carrying the weight of the world on shoulders that were only meant to carry my yoke. I see the quiet desperation in your soul as you realize that despite all your striving, you are still in the same place you were years ago. This is the future of the self-made man, a future of endless effort and diminishing returns, where the soul slowly withers under the heat of its own self-reliance. But look closely, for I also see the path of divine alignment. This is the path where the heavy lifting is handled by the hands that created the galaxies. I see a version of your future where your needs are met before you even have the chance to worry about them. I see relationships that were once toxic being healed or replaced by connections that nourish your spirit. I see a supernatural clarity entering your mind, allowing you to see opportunities where others see only obstacles. On this road, your health begins to reflect the peace of your soul, and your finances become a tool for my kingdom rather than a source of your identity. I see you walking with a new posture, head held high, heart open, and feet steady. This is the path of the chosen, where favor follows you and my goodness and mercy hunt you down every single day of your life. It is not a path without challenges, but it is a path where you are never, ever alone. The choice between these two roads is being made in the quiet of your heart right now. You cannot walk both. You cannot have the security of the old and the miracle of the new simultaneously. To step into the flow, you must be willing to let go of the bank of the river. If you believe I am breaking your chains and shifting your reality in this very second, do not let this moment be stolen by the noise of the world. This is your moment to lock in the future I have shown you, to seal the deal with the ink of your conviction. Secure your connection to this light. For the path ahead is brilliant, but it requires you to stay focused on the source. The journey of the two futures ends here. The journey of your one true destiny begins now. My beloved child, lean in closer, for the air around you is already beginning to ripple with the movements of heaven. You have asked for a sign, and I am giving you more than a sign. I am giving you a window of divine acceleration. In the next 7 days, I am rearranging the furniture of your life to create space for the blessing that is currently at your doorstep. This week is not just another sequence of days. It is a sacred corridor of transition. You will feel a sudden, inexplicable lightness in your chest, as if a hand has reached in and removed a leaden weight you've carried for years. This is the first ripple of the shift. Do not dismiss it as a mood or a passing feeling. It is the physical manifestation of my peace anchoring itself in your spirit. The fog that has clouded your judgment and made you doubt your every move is lifting. And in its place, I am pouring a supernatural clarity that will make the path ahead as bright as the noonday sun. Watch closely, for I will speak to you through the mundane and the miraculous alike. In these coming 7 days, keep your heart open for a communication you did not expect. It may come as a phone call from a voice you haven't heard in seasons, an email that changes the trajectory of your work, or a message that provides the missing piece to a puzzle you've been trying to solve alone. This is not luck, and it is not a coincidence. It is my hand moving the hearts of others to align with your needs. I am opening doors that you thought were locked forever, and I am closing doors that would have only led to your sorrow. You will find that things which were difficult last week suddenly become effortless this week. The resistance you have been fighting is melting away, because I have gone before you to level the mountains and make the crooked places straight. I am also touching the very temple of your spirit, your physical body. If you have been battling a lingering exhaustion or a pain that has stolen your focus, watch for a shift in your vitality. I am the great physician, and I am breathing new life into your weary bones. You will wake up with a strength that does not come from the earth, a resilience that allows you to face the day with joy rather than dread. This health is your heritage as my chosen one. I am restoring what the years of stress and sorrow have tried to steal. Pay attention to the small things. A sudden solution to a problem that seemed impossible. A moment of laughter where there was once only a sigh. And a deep sense of knowing that you are exactly where you need to be. These are the markers of my presence. The breadcrumbs I am leaving to show you that the shift has begun. Because this revelation is so critical and the timing so precise, I need you to stay locked into this divine frequency. Do not let the noise of the world or the doubts of others pull you away from what I am doing in your life right now. If you can feel this 7-day shift beginning in your spirit, if you believe that I am working behind the scenes to favor you, then stand firm in that belief. Let your faith be the seed that produces the harvest of this breakthrough. As we move deeper into this prophecy of restoration, remember that you are part of a holy family of believers who are all entering their season of light. Walking in the light of my word will serve as your fortress in the coming days, keeping your eyes fixed on me while I perform the wonders I have promised. You are not just a spectator of this miracle. You are the focus of it. The next 7 days are mine, and through them, I am making all things new for you. My precious child, hear the sound of the rain of my favor beginning to fall upon the parched ground of your life. I have watched you walk through the barren fields of your past, looking at the empty storehouses and the withered dreams, wondering if the harvest would ever return. I have seen the years that the locusts have eaten, the years you lost to grief, the years stolen by financial lack, and the time that vanished in the fires of betrayal. but I am the God of the overflow. And I am here to tell you that I am not just a God of survival. I am the God of total restoration. I will repay you for the years that were taken. I am breathing life into the dead things, and I am calling forth a multiplication that will make the trials of your past seem like a distant shadow. This is my prophecy over you. What was stolen in the dark will be returned to you in the light, and it will be returned with the interest of heaven attached to it. I am moving right now to shift the atmosphere of your provision. You have lived with a spirit of just enough for far too long, looking at your resources through the lens of scarcity and fear. But I am the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills, and my storehouses are never empty. I am opening the windows of heaven to pour out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. This restoration is not merely about money. It is about the restoration of your confidence, your creativity, and your ability to be a blessing to others. I am removing the curse of the devourer from your labor. You will no longer work for a harvest that someone else consumes. I am bringing you into a season where your efforts are met with my supernatural increase. Doors of opportunity that have been barred for decades are being unbolted, and I am positioning people in high places to speak your name in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Trust me with your lack, and I will show you my abundance. This prophecy of restoration extends into the very fabric of your heart and your home. I have seen the broken pieces of your relationships, the bridges that were burned by misunderstanding, and the bonds that were severed by pride. I am the great reconciler, and I am working even now to soften hearts and mend what has been shattered. For some, I am bringing a healing that allows old wounds to finally close, making way for a new depth of love and trust. For others, I am bringing a holy replacement. I am clearing away the toxic connections that have drained your spirit to make room for divine alignments. People who will see your worth, celebrate your light, and walk beside you with a pure heart. You will no longer be surrounded by those who only take. You will be surrounded by those I have sent to pour into you. Your home will become a sanctuary of peace, and the bitterness that has lingered in the corners of your life will be replaced by the sweetness of my presence. As you feel this prophecy taking root in your spirit, do not let it remain just a thought. You must activate this word with your heart. If you believe that I am the God who restores and that my hand is moving in your finances and relationships right now, allow that belief to settle deep within you. Make a spiritual decree that you are no longer a victim of your past, but a victor in my promise. Signal to the heavens that you have opened your hands to receive the overflow I am pouring out. Let the sound of your faith reach the throne of grace. For the era of loss is over, and the era of divine compensation has begun. You are being restored, my child, from the inside out. My chosen one, look up and lift your eyes toward the dawn that is breaking over the landscape of your life. For so long, your vision has been restricted to the ground beneath your feet, focused only on where to step next to avoid the thorns. You have lived in a constant state of survival mode, where your heart was always braced for the next blow and your mind was always calculating how to make it through the next hour. But I tell you today, that horizon of scarcity is fading behind you. I am calling you to look at a new horizon, one where the light never diminishes and the path is wide and clear. You were not created to merely survive. You were never meant to be a creature of the shadows, scavenging for scraps of peace and fragments of joy. You were created to shine with the brilliance of 1,000 suns, to be a city set on a hill that cannot be hidden. This new horizon is not just a change in your circumstances. It is a fundamental shift in your identity. You are moving from the wilderness of enough into the promised land of more than enough. I am teaching you a new way to live, one that is not rooted in the frantic effort of the flesh, but in the effortless flow of my spirit. You have been taught by the world that only the exhausted are productive, that only those who struggle deserve to succeed. But in my kingdom, the greatest works are done in rest. This is the transition from striving to flow. When you are in the flow, you will find that the right people come to you without you having to hunt them down. You will find that the right ideas spark in your mind exactly when you need them. You will find that the doors I have opened for you do not require a key, for they swing wide at the sound of your approach. This is the grace of the new horizon. It is a state of being where you are so aligned with my heart that your very presence changes the atmosphere of the rooms you enter. You are no longer fighting for your life. You are living from the victory I have already secured. This truth is returning to you the power that the silence of the past had stolen. You have been like a caged bird that has forgotten it has wings, but today, I am opening the door and reminding you of the heights you were born to reach. Your mission is no longer about finding a way to get by. It is about becoming a beacon of hope for others who are still trapped in the fog. As you step into this new horizon, your scars will become your credentials, and your story of restoration will be the map that leads others to my arms. You are entering a season where your creativity will flourish, your voice will carry weight, and your peace will be unshakable. Do not look back at the desert with longing or regret. It was merely the training ground for this glorious expansion. The struggle is over, and the flow has begun. The new horizon is yours to inhabit, and I am walking beside you into every brilliant acre of your destiny. My beloved child, the words I have spoken to you today are no longer just sounds or symbols on a screen. They have become a living seed planted within the fertile soil of your soul. This truth is now yours to keep, to nourish, and to protect. You have stood at the threshold and chosen to listen, and because you have honored my voice, I am honoring your faith. Do not allow the clamor of the world, the opinions of the skeptical, or the whispers of your own past to drown out the sacred frequency we have established here. This is your moment of absolute clarity. The road ahead has been paved with my promises, and the light of my presence will be your constant companion. You are walking away from this encounter as a different person than the one who started it. The old skin has been shed, and the new spirit is rising within you. Remember that I am not a God of distance, but a God of the immediate present. I am here, right now, holding the seal of your protection in my hand, ready to press it upon your life for all of eternity to see. I have seen the way you have leaned into this message, and I have felt your heart soften with every word. This is the activation I have been waiting for. You are no longer a passive observer of my grace. You have become a participant in my glory. The transformation that has begun today is irreversible, as long as you remain anchored in my love. I have placed an invisible mark upon you, a seal of ownership that tells every dark force and every spirit of lack that you belong to the Most High. You are protected by the blood, you are guided by the Spirit, and you are fueled by the Word. This truth is your shield and your buckler. Carry it with you into your workplace, into your home, and into the quiet moments of your solitude. When the enemy comes to tell you that nothing has changed, point to the peace in your heart and the clarity in your mind. Those are the receipts of heaven, and they cannot be counterfeit. You are the chosen one, and your victory is not a possibility. It is a finished work. Now, it is time to seal this prophecy forever into the fabric of your life. Do not let this word drift away into the abyss of the internet. Lock it in. Declare it to the heavens and the earth so that there is no doubt about where you stand. I need you to take one final action of faith right now. This is the moment to close the door on the past and open the gates to the future. Type 1 AM. Aligned or it is done in the comments below, to officially seal this blessing into your reality. By doing this, you are telling the universe that you accept the shift, you receive the restoration, and you are stepping into the flow of my perfect timing. This is your signature on the divine contract of my favor. Let the amen of your spirit resonate through the digital world and into the halls of eternity. It is finished. The chains are gone. The light has come. As you step out into this new horizon, do not go alone. Join this family of believers who are all walking this path of light together. If you haven't already, press the like button and subscribe to this channel to signal your permanent agreement with the frequency of heaven. This is not just a button. It is an invitation to stay connected to the source that feeds your soul. By being part of this community, you ensure that my voice remains louder than the noise of the world in your daily life. Share this message with 3 souls who are wandering in the dark. For as you become a vessel of my light for others, I will pour even more into you. My peace I leave with you, my joy I give to you. Go now, my precious child, and walk in the fullness of your destiny. I am with you always, even until the end of the age. It is done. Amen.